Good morning, kindergartners. Start by writing your name at the top. Today we are doing lesson 2.4. It starts on page 99. It's a 9 and a 9. And we're going to be problem solving today. Compare by matching sets of 5. And our essential question is, how can you make a model to solve a problem using a matching strategy? I'll read that again. How can you make a model? So how can we model by drawing a picture to solve problems using a matching strategy? So in this square, it says these are Brandon's toy cars. How many toy cars does Brandon have? So let's start by doing that. Let's count them together. 1, 2, 3, 4. So Brandon has four toy cars. I'm going to write a little 4 next to it to help me remember that. It says Jay has a number of toy cars that is less than the number of toy cars that Brandon has. Use cubes, we're going to use our counters, to show how many toy cars Jay might have. So I'll read that one part again. It says Jay has a number of toy cars that is less than the number of toy cars Brandon has. We know Brandon has 4, so it doesn't tell us exactly how many Jay has, just that it's less than Brandon. So I'll show you one thing here. Get your counters out. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 would be the same, so we can't use 4, but we could use 3, because 3 is less than 4. And you can see here, I'm not going to draw the lines yet, but you can see it can match these up. They all have a partner. Or we could use 2, because 2 is less than, because there's 2 here, and we don't have enough. So let's use 2 today. So put 2 counters out to represent the cars that Jay has. Now we're going to draw our counters. 1. If you want to pause and take your time to draw cars, that's okay too, but our counters represent those cars. And now we're going to use our matching lines to compare the sets. So this one has a partner, this one has a partner, and there's no partner to match to these, so we know that Jay has less cars than Brandon. I'm going to flip to the next page here. We've got some train tracks. It says, how many cubes? Trace the number. So on the first one, it gives it to us. Oh boy.
Good morning, Fuller staff and students. Welcome to Friday.
We got the announcements here.
October 2nd. Today is a half day. No lunch will be served, but there will be a super snack at the end of the morning. Let's get this great day started with the Pledge of Allegiance. If you could please stand.
You can stand and do the pledge together.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic
for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thanks, everyone. Have a fabulous Friday and a wonderful weekend.
All right, let's get back to it. So let's count the cubes. Put your finger on the first cube and count with me. 1, 2, 3. And go ahead and trace your 3. Because you're tracing, you can use something other than a pencil. Around the tree, around the tree. That's the way to make a 3. And then for number 2 and 3 here, for the next 2 questions, we're going to model a cube train. So this time we are going to draw the cube train that has a number of cubes greater than 3. Greater than. So draw a cube train. So if I draw 1 cube, I know I have to keep going because this is less than 3. 2, that's still less. 3 would be the same, and it didn't say the same, it says greater than. So I'm going to draw one more cube here, So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and write that on the line. Down and over, down once more. That's the way to make a 4. And now here we have to choose a different number than 4, but also greater than 3. So we know 1 is less, 2 is less, that's not enough to get to greater. 3 would be the same. 4 cubes is what we already did above, so we have to add another cube. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Short neck, belly fat, Mr. 5 wears a hat. Remember on these to use a pencil, so if you accidentally mess up, you can erase it and fix it. And go to the next page. 101. For number 4 in the blue flower, it says how many cubes? Write the number. So they didn't give it to us this time to trace. We have to figure it out ourselves. So get your counting finger on the first block, please. And let's count together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember with our 5, we start at the top. Short neck, belly fat. Mr. 5 wears a hat. And then in the 5 pink butterfly and the 6 brown acorn, it says model a cube train that has a number of cubes less than 5. So we did greater than on the last page. Now we're doing less than 5. So can I do 5? Can I just make it easy and do 5 right here? No, because 5 would be the same. We have to have a number of cubes less than 5. So we have to remove some or take away from that 5. So I'm going to use my counters here if you want to do this. I'm going to just show you here that 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This would be the same. So if I want it to be less than, I would have to take one away. We have to do 2 examples. So if you want to take one more away, you can, or you can be sneaky and take a bunch away. So for the top one, let's just have 1 cube train. So draw your cube and then write a 1 over here. And then we have to have another example of a cube train that's less than 5, and we already talked about it, that 5 wouldn't work, but if we took away 1, that would work, and that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 is less than 5. If I added another one, it would be the same though, so don't do that. Down and over, down once more. That's the way to make a 4. And then on the next page, this is our story problem. It says Kendall has a set of 3 pencils. So let's use our counters to represent those 3 pencils. 1, 2, 3. Kendall has a set of 3 pencils. Her friend has a set with the same number of pencils. Draw to show the sets of pencils. Compare the sets by matching. So if Kendall has 3 pencils and her friend has a set with the same number, we know that we just have to do the same thing. Each one has a matching partner. So 1, 2, 3. So if Kendall has 3 around the tree, her friend must have 3 too if they have the same. When you remove your counters, you can choose to do the counters, or if you want to draw sticks for pencils, that's okay too. If you want to get more creative and add the eraser and the point, that is a fun way to do your model as well. If you are more comfortable with removing and doing your counters for now, that works too. But to always double check and compare, make a line from one to the other to make sure that they all have a partner and we did it right. We are all set. They all 3 have a matching pair. For number 8 in the green and blue fish, it says draw to show what you know about matching to compare 2 sets of objects. Write how many in each set. So this one It's not giving us numbers. It just shows that we have to compare. You can use a greater than and less than number, or you can use the same. As long as you draw out your objects, you can use counters if you want and connect them. I'm going to do it with 1 up top in this group, and in this group I'm going to have 3. I always make it easier on myself by lining them up, because if I draw all over the page, it's going to be trickier to check for pairs. So I see that that one has a pair, but there's no more up there. So we know that this group has less, this group is greater, and there's 3 there. On the next page, this is your practice homework. How many cubes are there? Write the number. Model a cube train that has a number of cubes greater than 4, and draw the cube train and write how many. For number 2 in the yellow sun, how many cubes are there? Write the number. Model a cube train that has a number of cubes less than 3. Draw the cube train and write the number. And then on the back for the lesson check, remember this is the only page you need to send me. For number 1, how many cubes are there? Write the number. Model a cube train that has a number of cubes greater than 3. Draw the cube train, write how many, and compare the cubes. Remember, we compare with our lines. For number 2, for number 2 and 3, trace the number. And how many counters would you put in the 5 frame to show the number? Draw the counters for me. Have fun, and I look forward to seeing your last page.